Today we'll analyze chess in House MD. Chess was only in one episode, and right away we get an ocean of chess here. Would I really have to analyze all of that? No, of course not. The angles are only good enough for 5 positions, which you can see on your screen with Sabra's comments. So those games aren't based on real ones, always have flaws and the moves are not too good. But I think they did a decent job since all of the positions are legal. What do you mean he took the rook with an already captured queen?
You what?
Of course he just knocked it over, but I had to show that. Let's analyze the crucial games now. In the first one, Nate is playing white against an unknown player. It's black to play. Considering black is an amateur and white is a chess genius, I could see this happening. But the h3 knight and black's pawn structure are questionable. How did the pawn get to f6? Probably, white exchanged on f6 and then black recaptured with a pawn instead of a queen, like any sane person would. But maybe they want to play king h8 and rook g8 to attack on the g-file. Let's see the moves. They triple the pawns and trade on f5. Now white has the initiative. King h8, I like it. This is a bad move, but black is sticking to the rook g8 plan. White goes forward, queen h5. This attack wouldn't result in nothing if black plays queen d7, but they play rook g8, finishing their plan. What's bad about it? The king doesn't have g8 now, and Nate finds a brilliant sacrifice. Queen h7, rook h5, forcing the king to g7, bishop h6 and bishop f8 checkmate is unavoidable. Wow, one of the best chess in movies games this year. The flaws of the original position get concealed by the good moves. But recreating it wasn't that easy. Here black just presses the clock. Here the position goes back a few moves, and white goes e5 even though the pawn wasn't previously there. But the game deserves a 4+. Now for the second game of the episode, which we can see in its entirety. Nate is white, Dr. House is black. It starts with f4 and c5.
Birds opening. Passive approach. Sign of a coward.
Sicilian defense. Sign of an idiot.
Arrogance has to be earned.
Then white went knight f3, d5, e3, and here the monarchs switched places for one frame. e6, b3, preparing for fianchetto and bishop a3. Why not b2? The c5 pawn already makes castling possible. Then they play some more logical developing moves. The game is all good. Rook b1. I shouldn't have said it's all good. Was there some kind of a time traveler making silly predictions? Then black goes e5 trying to open the position up. It's a mistake. White can take the knight, and if e4 then bishop d5 and knight e4, keeping 2 extra pawns. But Nate, a wonder kid, doesn't notice that and just takes the pawn. Bishop e2 and knight e4. Black is sacrificing a pawn on d5 for the attack. Knight f3, which can't be taken with a pawn because mate on f2, so bishop takes. Queen h4, a mistake. g3 and Dr. House sacrifices the bishop, so the sacrifice is accepted. King e2 and knight g5. This is an interesting situation. White can't go bishop h5 because of queen g2 triple fork, and rook f1 also loses to knight takes f3, and the same move is strong again because bishop g4 is coming. But Nate shows that he's a chess genius. He finds the best move of queen f1 just before having a seizure.
You can't win. You can pin my queen. My knight to e7. Your king to h8. Sacrifice rook takes pawn. Bishop blocks. Queen to h5. Checkmate.
Let's see what he's talking about. If black takes on f3 with the knight and then bishop g4 seemingly winning the queen, they lose. Knight e7, a rook sacrifice on h7 and rook h1 with checkmate on the next move. Wait, I've just analyzed the same mating attack in Doctor Who, but king g8 doesn't save black. Knight e7 again, a rook sacrifice, rook h1 check, and Anastasia's mate. Wow. But guess what? What a creative game. Yes, creative, because it is not based on a real one. If not for the blooper and the issues with white's starting moves, I'd give it the full grade, making it the best chess game in a serial ever. But they were present. Dr. House responded to Nate.
I wouldn't have taken your bishop. I'd have moved my queen to d6, diffusing the threat, then rook to e8, attacking the king's pawn. I'd have lost the exchange but won the game.
This is complete nonsense. Those moves only prevent knight e7 and the king's pawn isn't attacked. It's just pinned. Black is still losing and now has no attack. The best continuation would be bishop g4, where white needs to find king e1. And things aren't that easy for white, even though they're still in the better spot. But you know what Nate, chess genius, responded?
I know. I was bluffing. And that's why you lost.
Why would you need to mess everything up with one dialogue? Just leave us the near perfect game and move on.